What's up, guys? About to hop in the ST. Wanted to show you guys something real quick. I was telling y'all I got the Can-Am stuck in a river. That's the air filter. It's a K&N, really nice air filter. I'm probably pretty fortunate not to have the stock one in there whenever this happened. Came out of that housing there, which obviously has areas where sand can get in. That is extremely concerning. Like, I did not like seeing that. So we're probably gonna get her all cleaned up, freshened up, oil change, everything, use her for the Labor Day trip, and probably list her for sale. I never intended for it to be in sand. My personal opinion, I would never buy a dune vehicle or any type of sand overly used in sand vehicles. I just don't think that it's very wise whenever you got sand. Literally gets everywhere. I mean, I thought I cleaned that thing for like 6 hours or something stupid. Thought it was spick and span, thought I was good. I drove it back on the trailer, drove it from New Mexico back here, and there's sand everywhere, like where it dried out and got loose and the wind caused it to actually get out from where it was stuck. So I have to rewash the whole thing again, and it's it's like terrible. So yeah, that crap gets all in your bearings. In that case, I obviously had it pretty deep in the sand, so it kind of got in the air filter area. I looked back after taking the air filter off and everything, it is completely clean in there. There's no sand that got through there. Everything is perfectly fine, but I just I don't like that. I don't like anything to do with sand. And my personal truck got buried too, so that wasn't ideal. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have probably 5 or 6 months to where I'm not going to, sorry if y'all can hear this AC, it is so freaking hot. It's actually only 85 today, but it's pretty toasty out. We're gonna have like 5 or 6 months where I'm not gonna be able to use the Can-Am. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sell one of my work trucks and try to pick up a toy car. I say a toy car, an actual vehicle, a third vehicle. Just I call them toys, but trying to frame up some stuff. We got our house refinanced. Long story short, I bought the house I'm in now through my company because we had our personal mortgage from our other house that we moved into right whenever we got married. So I bought this house through the company, sold my first house, the first house that we owned together as a family, and then now I'm getting this house right now refinanced, basically buying it from my company into my own name. So I'm waiting for that to get finished up. Once that gets finished up, hopefully in like 30-45 days, I would imagine. Once that's all finalized, then I'm gonna make these moves, sell the Can-Am, sell the F-250, or trade it in, and either trade in the F-250 and get something else, or sell the F-250 and then go buy something or order something. Not too sure what we're gonna do yet, but anyway, just want to give you guys a little bit of an update. We're on our way right now to a project job site that we are doing the epoxy floors on. So we're actually going to be the garage is getting cleaned out now, should be completely clean whenever I get there. They're going to start the grinding process, so they're going to be grinding down the concrete floors so that we make the concrete a little bit more porous for the liquid application, the base coat. And then, so what they're going to do today is grind the entire floor down. It's about 800 square foot. They're going to grind the entire floor down and then prep the edges so that we can go ahead and apply the liquid coating starting tomorrow. And then while you're putting the base coat on, and I can kind of film some of this tomorrow while we're doing this as well, but while we put the base coat on, you're throwing down that flake into the wet material. And then, so you do that as one process. You sit it, you let it dry for a couple hours. You come back, you take a squeegee, you knock down kind of the top whenever those flakes, if you just throw them on the ground, and sometimes they dry sticking straight up. Well, if you can imagine, it's like flakes of plastic basically. So if it dries like that and it's already a shard, that's basically a razor blade that's just sticking straight up. So we take a squeegee, basically knock down everything that is sitting vertical or anything that is not laying flat. We knock it all down, sweep everything up again, sweep up all the stuff that we just knocked down, and then we start applying the clear coat. So then we put the first coat on, we go ahead and start on one side, obviously do it, and then we wait, depending on the weather, we wait at the time period required, we go back with a second coat, and then we're done. So then we'll come back the next day, rip up all the prep, they'll be good. Light traffic, 48 hours. Heavy traffic, we tell them like 72 to 108 hours roughly. So kind of depends on what they're doing. If it's just a garage, you don't want a heavy vehicle sitting on fresh material still, because you will like indent it or scar it, if you will. So kind of give them as much of a time frame as possible so that we don't have future issues and say like, hey man, our floor isn't working good. Well, like when you drive on it, because I can see the tire mark, right? So it's like, not that the product didn't work, you didn't give it enough time to set up before you put your equipment or your car or whatever else on it. So we try to avoid that as much as possible and just be straightforward with them. Like, hey, if you're doing your garage, off limits for 3 to 4 days. Once we get the liquid down, and then you're good to go. You can do whatever you want with it. So that allows us to provide the warranty that we do and all the good things. We're on our way to that now. We will show you guys kind of what the grinding process looks like, and kind of give you guys an insight on just one of the branches of what one of my companies do. A second for a quick pull. Man, I just continue to love this thing. Like we've talked about something, the next vehicle that we'd want over this is so much more expensive that it just does not make sense right now to spend the money on that. You know, like the X7s and that caliber of vehicle, they're like, you're talking 6 figures basically. Unless you get a used one, you can get them used for about 85 in pretty good condition, low mileage. But regardless, I mean, you're at that price point, you might as well pay the extra 15 and get a new one and get exactly what spec you want. So it puts it in a hard spot, because it makes you like, man, I thought, you know, like usually whenever we are, actually just missed my turn, whenever we're doing our vehicles, we get one every year. So I get a truck every other year, she gets a new car every other year, so that we can balance our tax deductions with vehicles and basically depreciate the whole thing each year. But we've actually had this car, this is 3 years now that we've owned this car, and it has 39,000 miles on it. And we love it. I mean, I don't really know what else I'd get without spending that much extra money. So it makes it hard to get rid of it. Such a great vehicle. Something else we're gonna do with this is the cats underneath, I may be able to get a video of it for you guys, but the cats cracked again. It's just a factory issue that they have with these, and me like working in it, driving in ditches and shit like that obviously doesn't help that. So it cracked again. I'm not gonna go pay to get it fixed again. I'm just gonna go ahead and fix the problem. I'm gonna get some of the catless or high flow, if you will, downpipes, and we will put those on and hopefully not have any further issues with the downpipes rattling. It's also gonna sound a lot better. We're gonna get a little bit more horsepower out of it, and I'm going to so make this turn. This is a great thing about this car. Look at that turn angle. I mean, it literally just cut back a 45-degree angle basically and didn't even touch the grass. That's a nice house here. It's all paved. Little back house. So as you can see, the guys are already in there grinding. I'm gonna go get them set up with some fans, keep them going, make sure they're all good to go, and then I'll show you guys some of that process. But yeah, we're gonna go catless on this, and then also I'm gonna get an E50 revision tune. Actually, I have to buy the tune that'll also come with the trans brake, so I'm super excited with that. That's going to add, at least with the catless, it should add at least another 50 to 80 horse with the E50 compared to the 93. So I can only imagine this thing's going to be even that much faster. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to get these guys, get them continued going, and then I'll show you guys some of the process. So this floor already had epoxy on it, so we're having to take it all the way down and grind the concrete basically back to where it's porous, so the new material will stick. This is not finished, this is just a bad example. This is what it'll all look like basically. So we're having to do the whole garage, starting from edge to edge. We'll end up eventually going up here and connecting this lid, so all this will be sanded down to where it's all porous, ready for sticking, the liquid application on. And then we'll go ahead and put the base coat on. And while we're putting the base coat on, we'll throw the flake into the wet base coat. And then from there, all we have to do is the clear coat. So it's a little bit of an intricate process. It takes a while. It's very labor intensive. And it is not the easiest thing to do. It does take a little bit of skill and some getting used to it, but it's one of those things. There's actually a pretty good market for it in this area because nobody's doing it correctly. Fortunately, I have a few good employees on salary to where I have time. We can come out, do these, make these look badass. These concrete floors is absolute cake compared to the spray foam that Lorenzo and Martin do day to day, you know, in a hot suit, in an attic, in a shop, on a roof, whatever the case. Grinding a garage floor with music playing on your AirPods and fans blowing everywhere isn't exactly the hardest thing to do. So it actually was actually going to turn the other way, but a little rip in. God, this car absolutely flies. Blows my mind every single time. So yeah, I'm excited for the catless downpipes in the E50. Add a little bit more power to this thing. Got a front end loader. They actually just paved this road, so it's a lot smoother than it used to be. It is still a terrible road. As you can see, we're in Texas. It is flat as far as you can see. Most of the time there's a lot of cotton fields. It's been extremely dry, so there's not a whole lot of cotton and vegetation around. So yeah, guys, just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an update. I'm going to try to be pushing out these videos as frequently as I can, just so I can get more the hang of everything and more involved and try to get a hold of the vlogging concept of it and just provide better content with the experience. I've sat there and I've tried to do some thinking process through it on planning out videos ahead of time and doing all this stuff. I don't think that I have the time or the skill to do that right now with the whole YouTube thing. I'm still obviously learning. I got a lot of learning to do with editing. I have to basically be able to learn all of this on the fly because I don't have the time to sit there and teach myself and then go and apply it. I'm already decently close on some watch hour stuff, so I don't have a whole lot of time necessarily left until I can get the channel monetized. So I think the best game plan for me moving forward is just pumping out content. If it sucks, I'm sorry, you don't have to watch it. I would appreciate the like and subscribe just to help me get to where I can produce better content. Whenever I have so many things going on with work, it makes it so hard to put a lot of time or money into this because I have all my money and time invested elsewhere with my other companies. So it's just kind of one of those things that I have to have a balance on my, obviously my careers with both of my companies. I would love to open up another company. I want to do a couple really cool things. I'm in the process of looking for land. I'd like to see what it would cost to build out like an actual racing track in our area. There's not anyone close. There's I'm not talking about a drag strip. I'm talking about an actual track. Like there's some go-kart tracks around and stuff, but nobody's gone big scale yet. Now I have the connections with my construction company to where I can get asphalt and concrete and things of that nature at cost, essentially. So I can GC the entire project where I'm not going to go out and be paying millions of dollars to build this racetrack. I can buy the land, get the land financed, turn around, go and have a plan and build a track, even if it's section by section, whatever I got to do. So I'm looking into that, a lot of other cool things, but that takes a lot of my time and efforts. And then I have the kids at home, obviously, both my boys. It is the world to me to get home as early as I can so that I can have fun with them. So whenever I'm tacking on more and more stuff to my plate, it has to be worth it financially or have a pretty good end goal for me to give it my effort that it needs. And I don't like doing stuff half-ass. I know this probably seems half-ass to a lot of you guys, but it's just because I don't have the experience in this yet. I hate filming myself. I don't like how I sound on video, all those things that everybody always says. I hate it. I suck at editing. I'm okay on a computer, but I'm not the best. So it's like one of those things where it's just going to be a learning process for me, and I promise the content will get better. So I'm excited that so many of you have stayed around up until this point, honestly. It means a lot. I didn't think that I would have as many subscribers as I already do, and I know it's literally nothing, but I'm excited for the next chapter on this and hopefully get a whole new audience in and bring in a lot more fun stuff with some of the other things that we're doing. Even on the construction side, we do so many interesting things. I told my business partner, I was like, man, we could literally have a TV show that's better than all this other crap because of how entertaining we are on some of the stuff that happens. And so it's like, just kind of put all that stuff together, I think is kind of where I'm looking at learning to be better at, is just kind of combining everything. And that's why I kind of switched to the vlog aspect instead of strictly about the ST or strictly about what cars or whatever the case. Because just being honest, unless you already have a ton of money, it is extremely hard to grow an automotive YouTube channel, because there's so many guys that will go out and spend a bunch of money on a car and expect, oh, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel off of it. So there's a ton of content on whatever car you want to find. I guarantee you somebody has a car or has a video on YouTube that shows the exact mods you want, exactly what you want done, the splitter kit, the carbon kit, whatever you want, you can find on YouTube. So to be unique in that aspect is hard. So I would like to kind of just combine a bunch of other things along with cars, because cars is my passion. I just can't financially afford for cars to be my main sole focus because I don't have a way to monetize that yet. I'm working on that. So, I want to have a dealership. I want to have a track. I want to have all these things, and that's stuff that I will have. I might have just paused the video. I didn't, but it's stuff that I will have, but it's going to come with time. And so it's just one of those things. I know I can do it. I just need to kind of put the building blocks in the right place, the stepping stones, if you will. So excited for everything that's coming up. We're coming up to a stop sign. I'm going to end it on another rip from the ST. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. It's 95 degrees. The trans may say fuck you and explode. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe if you can. It means the world to me. It'll help me out. Soft launch.